First Officer Matthew Clark suffered a cardiac arrest while he was piloting a cargo flight in May of 2020. Well, I'm happy to report he survived thanks to the quick actions of his co-pilot and crew, and he joins us now to share his incredible story and the importance of learning CPR and being able to know how to use an AED. So thank you so much for joining us.
Hi, and thanks so much for having me.
Let's first start with your story.
Yeah, as you mentioned, in May of 2020, I was a commercial airline pilot at the controls of a Boeing 777 cargo flight traveling from Europe back to the US. And about 6.5 hours into the flight, suddenly, without warning, I had a cardiac arrest and died. Now, there were no symptoms, no indications. I had no medical issues or previous medical history. It was literally out of left field. And in the blink of an eye, I had a cardiac arrest and was gone.
What an incredible story. I'm so glad you're doing well now. How are you feeling?
I feel great. I have no limitations. I've made a complete recovery, and that's due almost exclusively to the work of my coworkers. So my fellow pilots who knew CPR, who went and got the AED, brought it up to the cockpit, hooked it up to me. It gave me a shock, brought me back to life. Although they estimate I was dead for 8 to 10 minutes, I was still able to survive and make a full recovery.
Talk about the importance of knowing CPR and being able to use an AED.
Knowing CPR is so important. If the people around me didn't know CPR and there wasn't an AED available, there's virtually zero chance that I would have survived. According to the American Heart Association, 90% of people who have a sudden cardiac arrest outside of a hospital die. And having someone nearby who knows CPR can double or even triple your odds of survival. So it's absolutely critical that as many people learn CPR as possible.
And I'm sure you've learned CPR along the way as well, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, I learned CPR back in high school, and my wife and I took the classes when we learned that we were going to become parents. Even the gentleman who saved my life, Captain Lee, he learned CPR more than 30 years ago. And yet, the training, the procedure really hasn't changed. It's just knowing it and having the willingness to act when called upon that can make all the difference.
Well, where can we go to learn more information if somebody is like, okay, let's do this, I'm ready to learn?
I encourage everyone to visit the American Heart Association's website at cpr.heart.org. There you can find all kinds of helpful information, including where to get trained on CPR.
And again, no symptoms, no family history. It just happened all of a sudden. So I am so glad that you're doing well and helping to spread the words to help other people along the way.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me, and thank you for your help.
Of course. And if you'd like to see this segment again, just head to our website, firstcoastliving.net.